Welcome back to Clark's Ring Rants. Let's get straight into today's video. Moses is back. He returns this weekend. No, not that Moses. This one, Moses Itauma. He returns to the boxing ring, not back to Egypt, as he takes on Jermaine Franklin and looks to take one huge step closer to becoming a world heavyweight champion. One of the hottest prospects in boxing? I certainly think so. I'm looking forward to this one. Let's get straight into it and discuss this naughty little scrap. In his last fight, he knocked out Dillian Whyte, went through him like a hot knife through butter. And before that, he stopped Dempsey McKean. Before that, he stopped Marius Whyte. Now, my one criticism, if you can call it that I've levelled at Moses Itauma, more in particular at his team, is the inactivity. Moses Itauma has been pro now for 3 years. He made his debut on the Artur Beterbiev Anthony Yarde undercard, and since then, he's only had 13 fights. Now, I know originally they were trying to fast track him. They wanted to break that Mike Tyson record, but Mike Tyson became world heavyweight champion at 20 years and 4 months. So if Moses Itauma wanted to eclipse that, he would have had to have become champion before April of 2025. And I want to say, realistically, Frank Warren, the team, Ben Davison, whoever, they probably knew that wasn't going to be feasible a good 9 months, maybe even a year before that. So it just begs the question, why has he been so inactive? Why has he been moved at such a slow pace, I guess? He's been fighting as if he's a world level guy, fighting twice a year. And I guess you can say people are scared to fight him. I mean, with good reason. He's absolutely blowing people out of the water. Dempsey McKean basically went 12 with Hrgovic. He was stopped in the last round. Dillian Whyte has been a good fighter. He's probably not the fighter he was 6 or 7 years ago. He's blowing him out in a round. Marius Whyte, famous for having an incredibly strong chin. He managed to drop him and stop him. So nobody wants that work with Moses Itauma, because what's in it for them? You're going to have to pay people an astronomical amount of money to get them in the ring. That's probably why the Dillian Whyte fight was on pay-per-view, when obviously it shouldn't have been on pay-per-view. Now, here lies the problem for Moses Itauma. In this stage of his career, there's no need to rush him. He should be having as many fights as possible. And maybe they have to scale it back. Maybe that's the media's fault for overhyping him too much and putting too much pressure on his shoulders. I know he mentioned this in the gloves are off, face-off sort of thing he did with Jermaine Franklin. But what is he to do? Ideally for me, Moses Itauma should be fighting 3, 4, 5 times a year. Now, I know times have moved on from the 1980s, but I believe Mike Tyson was nearly 30-0 when he challenged for that world heavyweight title at 20. Maybe that's not possible in this day and age, but I still think Moses Itauma could be more active. He fought Dempsey McKean in December of 2024 on the Usyk Fury rematch undercard. And then last year, he only fought twice. He fought Mike Balogun, not a household name, not a great fighter by any means, no disrespect to Mike Balogun. And then he fought a faded version of Dillian Whyte. He was in the ring for about 5 minutes last year, and we didn't really learn anything we didn't already know about Moses Itauma from those 2 fights. The hand speed, the foot speed, the counter punching, the punching power was all there to see, but there's still more questions unanswered than I feel there is answered about Moses Itauma. He's not been hit yet. Granted, he's not fought anyone good enough to be able to land a shot on him. That's not his fault. He's not been dragged into deep waters. Again, he's been too good for everyone. That's not necessarily his fault. But you need these step-ups on the way to becoming a world champion. Take Anthony Joshua, for example. I believe Anthony Joshua was fast-tracked because there was an easy route to a world title that suddenly became available in the wake of the IBF belt being vacated, or was it stripped? I think it was stripped of Tyson Fury, actually. I'll just have to fact-check that. It was stripped away. Either way, he lost it. It fell into the hands of Charles Martin, who won it because his opponent fell over and hurt his leg, so he didn't even win it. He got gifted it via injury, I suppose you could say. Probably one of the worst ways you could win a world title. But anyway, that became available for Anthony Joshua. He took the Charles Martin fight. He flattened him in 2 rounds. But once you're there at that level, there's no going back. He then had to start taking tough fights. The Klitschko fight probably came a bit too early. He was still learning on the job. You could see that in the Joseph Parker fight. And then came the Andy Ruiz fight. A good world level guy, a style he'd not fought before. Many unanswered questions. He didn't know how to deal with it. And Anthony Joshua never really got the chance to correct all of his fundamental errors as he went along in his career. He just sort of had to wing it after the Charles Martin fight because he couldn't take easy fights. He was a superstar, he was a world champion. And I fear something like that could happen to Moses Itauma. However, I hope Frank Warren manages him better than that. This is a good fight though, nevertheless, Jermaine Franklin. Jermaine Franklin is a sneaky little fighter. He went the distance with Anthony Joshua. He went the distance with Dillian Whyte. He arguably beat Dillian Whyte. He gave them both some trouble. He was landing on Joshua. He stays there. He's small. He's compact. He can counterpunch. He will trade with you. And he tucks up quite well defensively. He knows how to survive. I don't think this fight is going to be a blowout whatsoever. I think Moses Itauma is expecting a tough fight. If you watch their face-off, he was a bit candid in his prediction. He wasn't giving much away. They were both very respectful to each other. He said he does expect to knock him out, but he believes it'll be mid to late rounds. Jermaine Franklin, I think, is going to come with ambition in this fight. I believe he's got a decent chance. Does he, in his heart of hearts, think he can beat Moses Itauma? Listen, I'm not sure. Only Jermaine Franklin can answer that. But I do think he's going to give it a good go for as long as he can. And who knows, like in the Joshua fight, he bloodied his nose early in that fight. He got some shots off. If Franklin can have a bit of success and his confidence can start to grow, it could be a tough night's work for Moses Itauma. He's not seen anything like Jermaine Franklin yet in the pro ranks. It could be a tough night's work for him. My prediction for this fight, I do think Moses Itauma will win. But I think he's going to have his work cut out. I think Franklin, we can expect him to be quite negative. He's going to grow into the fight. He's not going to take any risks early on because we know how sharp Moses is. He's knocked a lot of people out early so far in his career. And I think once Franklin can establish himself in the fight, he might let his hands go a little bit. He might even start to trade. We even saw at times in the Anthony Joshua fight, he wasn't scared to hold his feet in the centre of the ring and swap shots with AJ. The only thing is, at this stage of the game, Moses Itauma is a lot sharper, he's a lot accurate, he's got a lot better timing than Anthony Joshua. So if he does decide to stand and trade, get a bit overconfident with Moses Itauma, this could be his undoing. However, I think if he opts to frustrate him, stand there, tuck up, slip, block, roll, hit him with a few counters here and there, tie him up, that's his best bet of winning this fight. But I don't think it'll be enough. I think Moses Itauma's fresh, he's young, he's got the eye of the tiger, and he's definitely not going to be overlooking Jermaine Franklin because he knows the big pot of gold is not too far away now. But if he does win this fight like I expect him to do, I'd like him to go on this year, have 3 or 4 more fights, incremental step-ups. There's no need to rush him. There's no need to rush him. Just keep nurturing this precocious talent and let's see what we've got with Moses Itauma. But this is an interesting fight for a plethora of reasons that I've gone over in this video. There's still unanswered questions about Moses. This is a new style for him. The big occasion. Can he handle it all? What will he do? Is he the real deal? I think he could be, but we'll find out more on Saturday. But what do you think? Is this going to be business as usual? Is this going to be routine work for Moses Itauma? Is he going to make mincemeat of Jermaine Franklin? Or is he going to be in for a tough night's work with the old veteran, showing him some old man moves in there? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, share, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.